What is it about Rambo movies that keeps us coming back for more?
It's thinly disguised symbolism.
Tonight, Evening joins Sly Stallone on location with Rambo 3, where he clears up a few misunderstandings.
I did graduate 3rd grade, okay?
Then Enrique Serna meets the Samurai of Soul. This 250-pound Japanese singing sensation has his American debut in Seattle.
He's the only Japanese soul singer I know of.
And Tinseltown's naughtiest news comes from the poison pens of these dirt slingers.
We stick to the fun stuff. Drugs, facelifts, infidelity.
Tonight on Evening.
Now stay with us. Coming up next, James Brown, you can move over because Samurai Soul is here to stay.
You're a white lady of a dark.
Japanese imports have been very successful in this country. Millions of people have traded in their roomy Buicks and Cadillacs for Japanese compacts, have given up meat and potatoes for raw fish and seaweed, and have even brought home Sony televisions to watch Evening on. Well, that's not all. Now there's a brand new Japanese import that's described as Samurai Soul. Here's Evening's Enrique Serna with the story.
On the wings of love.
They call it soul. It's a sound that's appreciated by fans around the world. But the creation of the music has remained the exclusive domain of Black American artists. Until now, that is.
You're a white lily of my paradise. You're a wild lily of my dark brown eyes.
Meet 33-year-old Tyrone Hashimoto. Standing 6 feet tall and weighing 250 pounds, he looks more like a sumo wrestler than your traditional soul singer. Born and raised near Tokyo, Tyrone has only made a few short visits to this country and admits his English is not so good. Despite that, he's in Seattle to simultaneously make his American singing debut and release his first soul album of original songs, recorded entirely in English. Now, if you think the idea of a Japanese soul singer sounds ridiculous, you're not alone. Tyrone's record producer, Bob Jenniker, thought so too when he got an early morning phone call from a friend in Japan.
And he said, I've got a real strange project for you. I've got a Japanese soul singer, and I want you to put out his record. So it was kind of a strange phone call, not the kind of thing you expect at 4 in the morning. And although he's a pretty good friend of mine, I thought, oh, man, this is too weird. You know, call me back in the morning.
Well, his friend called back, and although Bob was still very skeptical, he and his partner agreed to listen to Tyrone's tapes. What they heard quickly changed their minds. Tyrone was a great singer, a genuine talent, and he had a gimmick.
He's the only Japanese soul singer I know of.
And that's a fact that's generating a lot of publicity for Tyrone.
Baby, all right. Gotta keep loving you, oh baby, all right.
Okay, Fox, gotta keep loving you. Tyrone Hashimoto. Now, I tell you, listening to that song and looking at you, I'd say, no, that's not him.
Tyrone's talent is surprising a lot of people, but his American dream of releasing an album in this country has been a long time coming. It started in Berkeley, California in 1975 when he took in a concert by legendary bluesman Taj Mahal. It inspired him so that he made the decision to devote himself to the study of all styles of black music. He taught himself to sing in English by listening to American military radio broadcasts in Japan. And over the years, he developed his own style of American soul. But along the way, he's been frustrated by the reaction of Japanese record producers and audiences.
Very strange reaction because I'm a pure Japanese. So yellow man singing soul music is to them very strange.
Tyrone hopes an American audience will be more understanding and appreciative of his music. Tonight, on the evening of his American performing debut, he'll get a chance to find out.
So every night I dream speaking Japanese, but today, first time I dreamed in English.
Please join me right now in welcoming international recording artist from Tokyo, Japan, Mr. Tyrone Hashimoto.
When you find something on the ground, close your eyes and feel the earth go round.
First, they chuckling me. Oh no, Japanese soul singer. No, 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 like the reaction. But when I started singing, they evaporated.
Going down the sidewalk of my mind, looking at the memories of the past.
A lot of the audience came here tonight out of curiosity, maybe even looking for a few laughs. But what they found was a singer who puts a whole lot of feeling, intensity, and most of all, soul into his music. For Tyrone, it has been an experience he'll never forget.
Unbelievable, beyond description.
I'm gonna tell you all the things in my heart. I'm feeling a tremendous amount of satisfaction.
This is just the beginning. From here, Tyrone goes on to perform in other U.S. cities and hopefully sell a lot more albums. He'd like to become a big star, but he won't be disappointed if it doesn't happen, because he's already living his lifelong dream, singing his music in America his way, with soul.
Say go.
Even though this is Tyrone's first American exposure, he's already recorded several albums in Japan, including one with the Japanese salsa band. Now, this is a busy guy. He also teaches music, writes commercial jingles, he acts in TV commercials, he's a TV announcer, and he also writes continually new soul material. So can you imagine this guy? Somewhere he gets some sleep in there, maybe about 3 hours a night. Now, Tyrone is back in Japan now performing and singing, but he's planning to come back to Seattle this summer to record another album. And if we'll keep our fingers crossed, his record company may book him at Bumbershoot. We'll look for him. Now, as we said earlier, we're here at the Safeco building where they're exhibiting some art from the University of Washington. This one here was done by Walter Isaacs, who is a former dean of the School of Art here. And an interesting story behind this painting. One of his students actually saw this painting on its way to the dump in a truck. She recognized it, she chased the truck down, and somehow rescued it. Quite a story. Now stay with us, because up next, we're going to meet two of Tinseltown's top reporters, the Hollywood Kids.
Hong Kong.
We're going to leave you tonight with Tyrone Hashimoto singing his favorite song from his new album, Moments of Love.
Here's Tyrone. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you back here Monday.
Good night.